Hello, my beautiful people, and hello, my perfume lovers. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Martin, and I do perfume reviews. So, welcome to this channel. And yes, I'm going to do a perfume review. Not only one, I'm actually going to talk about a few fragrances I added to my collection. There are 5 fragrances I'm going to talk about. There are actually more fragrances I added to my collection, but I wasn't ready to talk about all of them. I thought 5 fragrances are, I think, the perfect amounts to talk about in this video because I also want to keep the video short as possible because sometimes you do struggle with the length. So yes, let's get started. The first fragrance I'm going to talk about is this one here from Lattafa. It's called Azeezah. And this is literally a dupe for Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. Yes, like really, I get 90% resemblance, if not even more, because I don't have Good Girl in my collection, but I know this fragrance. I tested this fragrance a few times, and I thought, okay, let me give this fragrance a try. And I do like this fragrance. I think it is, I would say actually an all-rounder. This is marketed towards men and women. In my opinion, it's a little feminine leaning because if you know Good Girl, it is not really something that's unisex. You have white florals, you have praline in here, you have tonka bean in here, you have the coffee note in the opening, and you get the coffee note mixed with the lemon, which is very interesting because you have that bitter kind of smelling coffee note with a zesty lemon, but you also have that almond note, which makes it's creamy. You know, it's in my opinion a very creamy fragrance. You also have the white florals, you have jasmine and tuberose, you have the sandalwood, and you do get the sandalwood, especially in the dry down. And I'm a big fan of sandalwood. I feel like sandalwood always just makes a fragrance more polished smelling and sophisticated. And yes, in my opinion, this is a very sophisticated fragrance, perfect for spring, perfect for fall, and even winter. For summer, I'm not really sure because I haven't tested this fragrance in the summer and don't know how it's going to develop in the heat. But overall, I feel like this is a safe buy if you're into Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. So this is the first fragrance. The next fragrance. Oh, sorry, I actually wanted to tell you the longevity and the projection, which is very important. So when it comes to the longevity, I get around 5 to 6 hours. It doesn't project a lot, but I feel like for that price, I only paid 17 euro, I think. For that price, it does an amazing job, like all the Lattafa fragrances. You don't have to worry, and you can respray and overspray, so don't worry about that. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about is a fragrance I saw on YouTube a few times, which is Noir by Pascal Morabito. And the first time I saw a review on this fragrance was from fragrantglance. I'm going to link her down below. You can check her out. She does amazing reviews, like amazing, just really great content. And she's a big fan of Middle Eastern fragrances like me. And I feel like we do have a very similar style and very similar taste when it comes to fragrances, especially. And this is one of her all-time favorites. And I wanted to give this one a try because this is also very inexpensive. I bought this fragrance for 12 euros. So 12 euro is really nothing for 100 milliliter. I do like the bottle. I feel like it looks very elegant, very luxurious. There's not too much going on. You have a plastic cap and you have a beautiful juice. So the spray is also nice. Yes, the scent, very unique. You have apple in here, you have cinnamon in here, you have oud, leather, you have the vanilla and the incense. And you do have to like incense to enjoy this fragrance. To me, it smells very similar to Majd Al Sultan, which is another fragrance I did a review on. Very beautiful, but this one here is fruitier and I would say less incensey. But it's still a very smoky fragrance, so you do have to like that. I feel like this is perfect for the colder days, especially for now, like for fall and winter. And this kind of gives me Christmas vibes, but not overly sweet. This is not really a very sweet fragrance, which I love because not every Christmas or winter fragrance has to be super sweet or a gourmand. I feel like this is a, let's say, refreshing twist or just something I really enjoy to have in my collection. I'm very happy to have this fragrance and that I pulled the trigger. So let's sum it up. If you like sweet fragrances, super instancey fragrances, if you like apple as a note, if you like cinnamon, because you do get the cinnamon, so it's spicy, but very soft overall. I feel like it's very well blended. And when it comes to the longevity and the projection, this isn't really the most long-lasting fragrance. I do have to be honest, but I do get around, let's say, 4 to 5 hours. And I don't mind respraying and overspraying. It's the same with this fragrance here. Like for that price, it's not a big deal. I still enjoy this fragrance a lot. I do recommend it a lot, and it's also great for layering. I layered this fragrance with Majd Al Sultan by Azeezah, and this was a perfect layering combo. I also tried the layering combo with Ebony Wood, which is a fragrance from Zara. Also a very nice layering combo. So yeah, I'm very glad to have this fragrance in my collection. The next fragrance I bought recently, actually 2 days ago, is this one here, and I just hate the bottle. This is the fragrance called Penthouse Winter by Rue Broca, I think it was Rue Broca. And this is, I feel like, a sub brand by Afnan, which is another Middle Eastern brand, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, the brand is called Rue Broca, and this is the fragrance. And they do have a line with different, like, different bottles. The bottles all look the same with just a different color, a different juice in it. But yes, the reason why I actually ordered this fragrance is because this is supposed to be a dupe for Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton. And I was looking for a dupe for a very long time. I really like Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton. I feel like this is a masterpiece. In my opinion, the best fragrance Louis Vuitton actually has in their collection. And let me show the atomizer. Yes, I do get straight up Louis Vuitton's Ombre Nomade. In my opinion, this is just a little softer and a little bit more synthetic. It's not as deep and dense as the original one, but I would be like really shocked if this was as dense, deep, long-lasting, and strong like Ombre Nomade, because Ombre Nomade really is one of the most long-lasting fragrances and strongest fragrances I've ever tried. But still, I get around 6 to 7 hours, which is more than enough in my opinion. It projects a lot. You do get a beautiful raspberry note, you get the rose in here, the incense, and of course the oud. But it is softer. Really, like, it's softer, it's not as deep and dense as I already said, and I feel like it's more easy to wear. This is definitely an easy to wear fragrance for the colder days in my opinion, and also super inexpensive. You can get this fragrance for under 20 euro. I paid 18 euro for this fragrance, which is a great price in my opinion, and I really recommend this one. So we have two more fragrances left. The next fragrance is a fragrance I had on my list for a very long time. I watched so many reviews and I felt like, okay, now it's time. It's the perfect time actually, especially for fall and winter, for the colder days, which is Instant Crush by Mancera. And really, I was super excited because I didn't know what I can expect from this fragrance, since many people said it's very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. And in my opinion, it's not really that similar, but I do see some resemblance because of that zesty touches, the saffron, the oak moss, like that sweetness, and there are some similarities, yes, but this is not a dupe in my opinion, but they are in the same, let's say, category. This one, in my opinion, is a little bit sharper, a little bit more zesty. I get the saffron note a lot, which I love because saffron is one of my favorite notes to have in fragrances. When it comes to the notes, you also have the jasmine in here, you have the musk in here, amber, and the ginger. And I feel like the ginger just changes everything because the ginger is dominant, but I wouldn't say that it's annoying. I feel like the ginger really just adds a very interesting twist to this fragrance. And in my opinion, this fragrance overall smells a lot like gingerbread. And it's like gingerbread with sugar on top and some lemon, you know, very Christmassy as well. I feel like this is the perfect Christmas fragrance. I feel like this is going to give you Christmas Eve vibes. I feel like this is perfect for just wearing on a Christmas dinner when you're around with the family, or like when you're feeling like celebrating the holidays. I feel like this is really something that just fits this scenario overall perfectly, and this is very long lasting. I was a little scared that it's going to be a fragrance like Baccarat Rouge, for example, is a fragrance many people get anosmic to. In my opinion, this is not really something I get anosmic. Like, I sprayed this, and I do spray like a lot of sprayers. I use around 7 to 8 sprayers with this one, and it is a little bit too much, but I don't mind it. I just like to overspray, and as I always say, to fill the room with my scent. So you don't have to worry. I feel like 2 to 3 sprayers are enough. This is a big compliment getter. I wore this yesterday and I got so many compliments. I feel like this is really top notch. If you're looking for a compliment getter, this is it. In my opinion, it is slightly feminine leaning, but I don't mind that because I do have a lot of super sweet and feminine leaning fragrances. And as I always say, fragrances don't really have a gender. It's just marketing. You know, certain fragrances are being marketed towards genders and certain groups of people. I feel like this is something you are going to really enjoy and like if you like sweet fragrances, if you like the cotton candy fantasy and over like candy. Like, this is the vision I have: candy, like cotton candy and gingerbread, like gingerbread houses, for example. It is sweet. You do get jasmine in here. You do get not really a lot of the rose, but you do get slight hints of the rose. You also get that oak moss. You also get the saffron, especially, as I said. So very interesting, very intriguing. I'm super happy that I have this fragrance in my collection. And I feel like if you don't like it the first time you smell it, give it another try. I feel like this is a fragrance not many people are going to enjoy and love immediately. I feel like this is something you have to just keep wearing and keep trying, and somehow you are going to grow on this fragrance. But for me, like, this was really an instant crush. I fell in love instantly, and I like this one. I actually love this one a lot. So the last fragrance I'm going to talk about is this one here. It's a cheapie from Jean Arthes, which is, as far as I know, a French brand, and they have like super inexpensive fragrances. Fragrances for under €10. I paid €6 for this fragrance on Notino, which is actually a joke, but I felt like I do like the notes, so why not? Let me try it. And I'm happy that I ordered this one. I feel like you can't really do much wrong with a fragrance that's only €6. So this is called Boum Vanilla, by the way. Yes, very sweet, candy-like, perfect also for the colder days. And when it comes to the notes, you have candy glazed apple or sugar glazed apple. I don't know how it's called in English, sorry. But you have the apple note in here. It's super sweet. You have the orange in here, which adds a little zest, as I like to say. And you have the musk and vanilla and praline. So it's like, think about fresh apples mixed with like baked apples and some chocolate, because there is some refreshing or just, let's say, zesty or fresh apple. Let's say like fresh apples when you cut them, very fresh. But there's also that baked apple fantasy, which I do like. And the praline, you get the praline, you get the vanilla. It is sweet. It is very girly, very seductive. I feel like this is also a fragrance you can pull off on a date night, maybe, especially for the women. Like, this is marketed towards women, and I feel like this is super feminine and super sweet, but I don't mind that. It's perfect for layering as well. I layered this fragrance with Shagaf Oud by Swiss Arabian, which is like one of my all-time favorites, and I use this fragrance to layer with so many other fragrances, and the layering combo worked perfectly. I also layered this fragrance with Valencia, which is another fragrance by Swiss Arabian, because I wanted to add some sweetness, like more sweetness and depth to this other fragrance. So I'm very happy to have this one. Give this one a try if you like apple fragrances and praline fragrances, because for under €10, like, you can't do no wrong, as I already said. So yes, this is it actually. I really enjoyed this video. I felt like I was going with the flow, and I hope you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, then please hit the like button, comment down below what you think, tell me your thoughts, and I hope to see you guys very soon for another review. Thank you.